that nicotine?
Yeah. We are
Dude.
back in. And yeah,
but
it's
Dilbert, dude.
It's nicotine. I've been on the e-cigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like a cig here and there, but
Yeah.
it's been probably maybe 3 months or something.
It's less harsh. You feel a little bit better.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yes and no. Like,
Yeah.
it's all a means to an end, fucking quit.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. What? And then what? Fucking do a 5K or something like that. The turkey trot in November.
hell no. Fuck no. Trying to run in no shit.
Dude, I wish, dude.
Yeah.
I wish I could just. That's how I used to get back in shape. Like, but now there's no going back. Once you're, you watch like people like More Plates, More Dates with Derek or something like that, and he's always talking about people doing roids and stuff like that, and it's like, it's fucking hilarious, right? It's almost like, oh man, roids are the next stage of evolution for an old guy, dude.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I know a lot of people, or not.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say a lot. I do have some friends who,
Yeah.
do their cycles, and I'm just like, whatever, man.
Yeah. Like I got a buddy who he's just like, he's all, yeah, my buddy's getting married. I need to get all yoked for the bachelor party. And I went, what are you talking about? Just so, like, you know what I mean? He like, that's what they say about bodybuilding. They go, it's not really for the chicks, right? It's like, it's for other dudes to be like, oh, dude, what are you at? You at a 42-inch waist right now? What's going on, dude? You need, it's like for guys to be like, you need to diet, dude. You need to break
That's
it down.
real, bro.
It
That's
real.
totally
like,
real. Yeah.
What's your calorie count at, dude? You got to get your macros fucking perfect, man. It's not as easy as it looks. You got to walk instead of run.
Yeah, it's too real.
Yeah, and
I don't think any of those dudes want to hear that. That's for sure.
No, it's some people have but you know what I mean. It's just, I can't imagine being that fucking like 245 pure muscle, man. That just seems like torture, and they don't live long either,
I mean, it's a lot of stress putting on your body.
It's discipline, which is like one way or another pretty good, but like at the exact same time, it's like, I mean, some of them get really like it's like I'm all into that that biohacking stuff though, where people biohack like this or biohack that for like, hey, is it raining up there?
Yeah, it's been pouring all day.
Jesus, man, it's like nonstop, dude.
Dude, nonstop. It's like fucking feel like it hasn't stopped raining for.
Do you think it has something to do with all the volcanoes that popped off?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
It's connected somehow. The volcano terraforming fucking machines, whatever they are.
I think it has something. I think it's just. I mean, these last 2 days, like they're like, oh, I didn't think it was gonna be torrential. Is that the right word? Torrential downpours, but it just.
Well, it's really cold too. It's a lot colder than the rain we usually get.
Oh yeah,
usually it warms up a little bit when it starts to rain, and it's just gotten colder.
It was like the snow. Like, did it snow at your house?
No, but it snowed not far from here, like really
Grizzly
close.
Heat.
Yeah. Grizzly Heat, Oakland Hills, like it's probably just a few miles.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, I guess it was snowing on the beach. Did we already talk about that last time?
I don't think so, but I don't remember about half that conversation.
Yeah, it was like snowing at the beach, and man, it's just Saturday we went over the hill, and we turned around at 17 and tried to like go through Granite Creek up through the old highway. That road was closed. We ended up having to like go all the way from SoCal after doing that loop back into SoCal from old San Jose, and then zip over Hecker Pass, and we still made our show. Like I was just like, this, just so much the mish. But then on the way back, we went, what?
Nothing.
And then back
I was
going to
say Highway 17 was closed. That's why you had to do that.
accident, someone like but dude, I already know I've been stuck on that hill like in the early mornings going to go do something like a job, and it was like 4 hours, and in the morning, like you need to do a lot of like human things, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's just like you're pressing your human ability. There's no biohacking having to like fucking pull over and take a crap, dude. They'll never make them, if you have to go.
Well, totally. I mean, what?
You're just like yelling at people.
Yeah, sew it up, bro. Sew it up.
What are you looking at? I got a shit. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So that I guess there's another volcano erupted in. Yeah, I saw you post something or repost someone's stuff. What was that? What was that volcano?
I don't know, let me see.
Deceptions or something like that.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, I just seen it pop up. But I looked into it, man. Like I guess there's like quite a lot of volcanoes that are like, one was in Mexico City, or Mexico, not maybe like I always spell it wrong in the beginning. Eruption, yeah. Like I guess video. Oh, come on, dude. There's so many jumps and loops now. Video shows violent eruption of Mexico. Capatele volcano. That was 1 day ago, right? And then in the Philippines there was in the Philippines, Tonga was in 2022. That was that in the middle of the ocean volcano?
There was one in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
I think the Tonga one was the one that was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It just blew out. Activity Jupiter's moon.
I'm trying to find a little thing here.
They're saying volcanic eruptions on Jupiter's moon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, confusing and exciting scientist. And then it's like volcanoes are currently erupting.
There's one in Hawaii going off right now too.
Oh yeah, Etna was in Italy. Ojai, United States. Oh yeah, there's one in Russia, and it's still continuing. And then there's one in Ecuador, continuing. All these are continuing. Oh, by the way, they're all continuing. Wow. Yeah, something's going
on in this realm of ours.
Yeah, it's getting ready for the cold freeze, I guess.
Oh, we got. Did you say a Japanese one too?
I didn't look at the Japanese one, but they got like
there's a Japan one.
They got one in Chile, Italy, all within a month or two. Yeah. Something's a brewing underneath there.
Something is a brewing.
Yeah. Just letting off some steam.
Okay, here, yeah. You said the Tofua volcano in the Tonga Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, that was like the satellite, or the satellite footage is pretty heavy duty. I guess that did some damage on the Crescent City, to go back to Crescent City, something like that.
Oh yeah, we got some wave action, huh?
Yeah. I mean, the fucking thing. I mean, when they, how like they do the math problems where it's just like they're all, it's 60,000 nuclear bombs or something went off at one time. It's like, whoa.
Totally.
That many?
Isn't one nuclear bomb supposed to wipe us all out?
Dude,
how do they even measure that?
Do you remember that footage of that so much stuff just comes back to me that's like been lost in like the cycle of news and stuff. About like a year and a half ago, that maybe 2 years now, where in that they said that one God dang it, Syria in Syria, that storage unit of fireworks blew up.
Yeah, I
Do you
do.
remember that?
Yeah, that was just a couple past COVID, right?
Yeah, I think it was like right in the beginning, or like a year after or something like that.
Yeah, totally. And there's
But
tons of footage of people on the streets and shit,
yeah,
like of it happening.
that's hairy though, dude. Like, that was from like the official story is that was from fireworks next to fertilizer.
Right.
I mean, oops.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like there was I saw some videos about like some missiles coming in and hitting it or something like that.
I mean, like that's yeah, it's like don't believe your eyes. To me, that looked like maybe I immediately was like, oh, that's like a tactical nuke. You know,
Sure, it could have been planted. Yeah, it could have been just a bomb explosion. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, I don't doubt the stupidity of people one single bit, but like, come on, I mean, that's pushing the boundaries of like the stupidity level.
Well, it's a cartoon, right? It's like,
yeah, totally. It's an Acme cartoon shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the thing is like, that's people will believe just anything nowadays. They're just like rehashing Acme cartoons, fucking Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And like, no one even questions it, it's like, on to the next parroting fucking thing.
It was like, to me, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's sort of kind of like a warning. When I saw that, like, I like, my initial reaction was like, that's a warning. They're all, look at this. Like, I mean, because when you think about it, like, like, that was like such a heavy bomb, dude. Like, people felt that like 3 miles away,
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching the footage of people and like it was knocking people down and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, like just the people with like had like built like they're hanging out in their like, their high riser building, just like being like, yeah, they had like, but dude, to me, it's just like, fuck, it's like that same thing where that guy was perfectly placed in New York to film the like airplane flying right into the building.
Of course. I mean, we have to question everything,
Dude,
who are those people? It's just as easy to get, a handful of people film the thing and be passed off,
And you know what's even more crazier about that, the sound effects of that, like one in 9/11, which is funny, is you could hear like the air brakes of the air brakes. You know how like when air brakes kick on, it's like and you could like, it makes that kind of like throaty kind of. Why would they put the air brakes on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless they thought they were gonna miss or something.
It just blows my mind. I mean, like, oh, hit the brakes,
Totally. I mean, that's the last thing you're gonna do probably in that situation, unless it's like a natural thing to be like when you're about to blow up, you just I don't know, man.
I mean, maybe like maybe for some reason it was like computer programmed, and then like the computer just like overrode that part. Totally. And was, oh, we need air brakes to last like 3 minutes to make this exactly where we want to hit,
Totally.
Otherwise, it's like, even when you're driving a go-kart, you're not like hitting the brakes, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's like, to make a corner, you're like gonna do it, I just think it was like a computer override.
Yeah, it sounds like something like that for sure. If it wasn't even, computer driven at all.
I'll tell you what, dude, I'm in the conspiracy mood today, dude. You know what I mean? The rain just brings it out of me, dude. I get all like,
we're going deep 9/11 shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, I get into it. I'm like, kind of like, I'm all, ooh, it's another gray day. My brain is not working on the level of anymore. It's just like, let's think of doom and gloom. Yeah, man. I was just talking to my that guy I was telling you about, like TJ, about like the chicken feed story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, so I'm like, well, hey, like, would you want to come and like just because it's. But then I was talking to him. He almost seems like he's like, oh no, I just think they were selling like really crummy. He told me they were selling really crummy feed for chickens that had too much ammonia in it. It was like corn not fit for like human consumption, and
Mm-hmm.
they just made it into chicken feed and sold it. But did you ever read up on that like chicken feed conspiracy thing?
I don't think so.
So they cut the productivity of like chicken eggs, right? But right at the exact same time, um, like chicken farms are just burning down all over the place, and like
Right.
food processing plants are burning. They also they sold, because I asked him, oh, do you think, I go, hey, do you think it was like they did it on purpose to like kind of like screw over like homesteaders and people that have chickens, just to make them feel the pain too? And he's like,
Right.
he's like, not really. He thinks they just sold like crummy. But I'm like, oh man, that's so coincidental in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he's just like a regular guy. He's not like,
No, I mean, he's like, because like, no, he's like
he's into conspiracy shit.
yeah, like yes and no. Like he's
Mm.
like a full like he's like, he's got all the guns. He does all the stuff that you need. He does a lot of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then he hunts and he makes sausage himself, and
All
he's
right.
always cooking up and stuff. Like, he gets a bunch of boar tags, and I mean, he's a survivalist in a way. But like when I was asking him, like, hey, do you think it was like, he was like, he kind of just, no, because he just heard from the people at like the Tractor Supply stores where he got his feed. And there, a lot of people at the time were coming back and saying that like my chickens aren't laying. He was like, he's all, but like chickens do
Interesting.
kind of slow down their egg production in the wintertime.
Hmm.
But it's California, so it's like,
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's been a colder winter than normal, but
yeah. But he
to
said
me,
he
I mean,
said he
the
switched the food
coincidence
up,
is,
and yeah,
oh,
he said
like
he
he
switched the
switched it.
food up, and they just within a week they started like laying some eggs again. So
Well, I mean, it's definitely a bad batch. It's
yeah,
pretty
I think
that it's too
yeah,
coincidental with all these other
yeah,
food
because
processing plants burning down and shit.
there's a lot, dude.
Totally. I mean, like my Instagram feeds, like half the people just posting about all these fucking fires and shit.
Oh yeah, the train derailments and stuff. Dude.
Well, that too, for sure.
Oh man, and like trucks tipping over with some like nitric oxide in it,
Right.
which is what's nitric oxide, like what they make matches out of or something.
Isn't that the
Or
nitrous?
that actually might be good for you.
Isn't
That
that
might
the
be,
nitrous, the funny gas?
I don't know. That's what happened in Arizona. That
Mm,
truck tipped over and it was like
I didn't see
red.
that one.
Yeah. Oh, they're up, dude. They're everywhere, man.
Yeah, totally.
It's almost more curious um to think that like it isn't like this thing that's happening, like,
Well,
damn it.
it's so obvious. It's like, well, fuck, what's really going on here? It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's so obvious that all these things like crashing, burning down, fucking are like some kind of a target or an attack. But it's almost like too obvious to be like, okay, what the hell is actually happening here?
Or like, even though that like, like they had that train strike, like that the government crushed the union,
Yeah,
told them to get back to work, um and then like and then that happens. Like, it's almost like, like a lot of people are like always like saying like the minute they see some, like maybe they had like equity hires or something like that, and these people weren't qualified, which is always, but dude, this is the thing. You can't go from like there's nothing like, like you can like set your watch to like train times and stuff like that in places like Germany and stuff. You know, it's like it's on time. Never, the systems are always just like double checked, triple checked, you know, that like nothing's gonna go wrong, you know. But then all of a sudden, like, you know, then all of a sudden you like have those fuckers like the governor and the mayor drinking water out of a tap going, it's acting,
Totally.
dude.
I mean,
Acting. It's just like,
that doesn't say
are you
photo
saying
op.
this water used to have cat piss in it? Yeah, it doesn't taste like cat piss. Yum.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then cameras go off and they never have a fucking drink of it ever again.
Oh, they're just spitting it
You know
out.
what I mean? Yeah. It's like
sweating, just going, I think something's wrong with me. They're like, you know, let's go get cat scans real quick, you know?
Yeah, that stuff's all for the NPCs, you know? It's all just
funny. Like
it's funny
like
as hell, but you know, it's like, you know, so obvious, you know, that kind of shit's all just for the NPCs.
Yeah, and then you have like mainstream defectors now, like Woody Harrelson.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
Defector.
I mean, totally. And his dad was like a big CIA guy, right?
Yeah, I actually just like rewatched the interview when Barbara Walters asked him about it, and he's like, he did the same thing like Damian Hamlin did. They're like, he's all, I don't want to go there with this questioning, you know, it is what it is. So, and now apparently like his dad was like a shooter on the grassy knoll or something like that.
Right, that's what it is. That he was there. He was one of the bums. One of the bums they arrested. Who, you know, who were the grassy knoll guys.
Yeah. But see, I like the thing is like, yeah, obviously, right?
Sure, yeah, totally, of course.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like you play this like goofy guy that was like, you know, in Hollywood, natural born killer.
Right.
And then like he did that whole, he was like a pot advocate, like working to get the laws changed and stuff, which is strange.
I mean, really yeah, those guys are so deep in, you know, in the matrix, like,
yeah,
I don't know, nothing they do can be trusted.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, just because you wear sandals, you know, and like you cross your legs when you sit on the couch and shit, you know, you sit Indian style on a couch, it's just, you know, that's not even,
totally.
You know,
I mean, that's like, again, it's NPC fodder, you know, it's for the fucking
I mean, I know.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, because like, because conspiracies are like a strange thing, right? Because they're talking about they're talking about going back to the moon now.
Oh yeah, they're bringing that up again.
Yeah, like some kind of like joint like work with South Korea. I actually just heard that on the higher side chats.
Awesome.
Some guy was like yapping about it.
I thought they forgot how they destroyed the technology, and that it's really hard to go back.
Yeah, but like, what's that guy's name?
Fucking, I don't know, dipshit McGee. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah. Well, and that guy's like the spokesman for NASA. You know what I mean?
Totally. I mean,
like it's like, you know.
Yeah.
They must like look at that.
It just shows. I was gonna say, yeah, it just shows their target audience. You know.
Children.
Yeah, just, you know, retards.
Yeah.
Like, children for sure, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's all they have to fool is the children. You know, every kid still wants to be an astronaut, I'm sure.
I mean, dude, they got me on space camp when I was a kid, though, dude. Like
I thought I had
a fucking dude. I thought I had a chance. My parents would fucking pony up for fucking space camp, dude. And I remember begging, come on. And they're like, "Oh, dude, no. I mean, that's like a mortgage and a half to send you there, dude. We're not like fucking." And it's only for rich kids.
Yeah, totally.
They go to space camp. You know that 20% of people that like, you know.
Yeah, they're connected.
Hey, you want your yeah. I mean, can you just be imagine like washing out of space camp or like any of those like astronaut programs? Just like fuck, dude. Just to like wash out.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to have that story.
Fuck out of here, you know.
You're done. Your time in orbit is over.
Yeah. Clip your nose hair, Johnson. You're out of here. Yeah,
you won't be having any more tang on this shit, boy.
Yeah. If anyone else wants to leave this building because your nose hairs are too long, damn it. Yeah, I mean, like, just fucking whatever, just like anything. You know that whole thing where they put you remember like Real Science, where they're like getting that fucking thing and spin around. I love that movie Real Science when I was a kid. I saw it at the drive-in. That like where they spin around in that thing and the guy's face is all oh no, that was not Real Science, that was Top Secret. Top Secret, Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase's last good movie, dude. He was good in that.
I'm trying to think which one. Top Secret. Are you think
it had a Val Kilmer in it?
Oh yeah, Top Secret. Oh yeah, for sure. The girl who lays down on the beach with the big boobs comes out.
I saw that at the drive-in, dude. I was just like, I was just a little kid, dude.
Totally, like, elementary school for sure.
Yeah, but Top Secret was like one of my favorite movies too, though, dude.
I'm gonna have to give that a read.
Spies Like Us. I loved it, dude. I love that movie. Dan Aykroyd's always super good, dude.
Yeah, Spies Like Us was tight.
Yeah. Doctor. And they go in for surgery, and he's all,
Where were they? Were they like in fucking East Germany or like on the Eastern Bloc?
Yeah, actually, I honestly think it was like Afghanistan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I remember there being snow and shit, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I have to relook into that.
I gotta watch that movie again, man. Like that movie.
It's been a minute.
Like, because Chevy Chase is horrible now. Something happened to that guy, dude.
Totally. Well, he sold his soul, in the late 70s, early 80s, and then he must have like tried to go back on the deal because they just pretty much he hasn't done shit ever since. Anything he's touched has failed. Like they even redid the Fletch movies without him. Like that guy's Fletch, just
Fletch was good too, like, though, dude.
Well, yeah, totally, but something happened where everything he touches turns into a pile of shit.
Caddyshack ripped, right? What were his first movies? Caddyshack. It was Top Secret.
The Fletch movies are great.
Fletch, like 1, 2, and then Top Secret or Spies Like Us. Freaking the Christmas Vacation, European Vacation. Were fuck.
Yeah, Vacation.
The Vacations were out. I mean, still super good. Like Randy Quaid.
Yeah, the Vacations was great. Even Christmas Vacation every once in a while was like, all right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You tried, son. He's all.
Yeah, he was great until fucking. Maybe it was a Paul Simon video.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what ruined him. I don't know. I'm just fucking talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, something happened to him. Maybe like, because he was just fucking best, man. Like Fletch is a good movie, like where he daydreams and stuff.
Oh yeah, his little fantasies. Fucking. I have a I think I got it. I took it from a pub in Australia. It's like an 8x10 fucking picture of him as a basketball player. Like it's mounted on a piece of wood. Fucking I remember I screwed it off the wall, fucking brought it home. Fucking I wonder if I still have that thing somewhere.
Yeah, man.
But no, it was so good. Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah. Like what was that one scene where he's at that country club? And he's playing tennis and there he goes, oh, would you like anything to eat? And he's like, oh no. And the guy's like, oh, you're a guest of so-and-so and they're paying for it. And he's all, on that hand, 2 club sandwiches. It's so fucking good.
Totally. That was his humor. That was his good humor.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. Yeah, like I can't remember. I seen like the roast of Chevy Chase and it was like everybody was just making fun of like how he's not funny anymore because he doesn't do
Oh,
cocaine.
fuck.
And he gets up there, he's like, I didn't even like really do that much cocaine, guys. Like,
See, they're just making up narratives and shit.
yeah, they're just like, this is who you are, you idiot. Talentless fuck. And everyone says he's an asshole.
Huh.
You know?
Well,
It gets
maybe that's a reason.
No, you know what it is like you know that whole thing like when you meet like your heroes or something like that, they never live up to like Fledge.
Totally. And you know, you probably
they're always
of
just
course,
a dude from like, you know.
yeah, and the time you catch them, they have fucking diarrhea and a blister on their foot, and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
bud, can I get a picture with you? And like, Jesus fucking Christ, if I don't get to the bathroom right now, I'm gonna shit my pants. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's like, no, son, beat it. And they're like, this is the worst guy ever.
Yeah. Yeah. They like gave me 2 black eyes because I said no to this project, and now you want me to be here and happy, you know? Like that total Kanye thing.
We're gonna have to start over here.
I know, I just seen that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, heat it up. Send me another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be back.
All right, bro.
All right.
Later.
I forgot. All right.
So like I brought that up, that Agenda 21 stuff, because it's pretty much the most documented thing in the world, right? And so what like
as far as like documented as far as like in the conspiracy community or like out there in the world. Yeah,
so like
out there.
So a lot so with the jobs we have had going like this year, everything's been delayed. Like as far as like foundation, installation of like just some crazy new ordinances that they don't help you with. They just like they go through the process of getting you to approving the plans, and then like all of a sudden they like the guy comes out there, the new hire guy comes out there and says, oh, you got to resubmit, and then they cancel your plans, right? And then the architect has to like resubmit like the problem solving technique, and so it takes like things like some of these customers are ended up like paying like $7,000 a month in delay fees and shit like that. It gets pretty heavy duty, which like really annoys them, right? And what this guy that we're working for, oh yeah, I mean that no one has $7,000, dude. No one's gonna spend your money like the fucking government is gonna spend your money, dude. And it's never enough. It's just like fucking never enough. But anyways, this is what that whole Agenda 21 thing like, and like when I start hearing about delays, I go, it's Agenda 21, right? And it's like it's Santa Cruz is like the ultimate like where they do all the tests for this kind of like how far can they push people, and apparently in Santa Cruz you can push people fucking far, right? I would definitely be pissed that $7,000 is probably different than like a lawyer, which this guy's even a lawyer, but this guy can't let his mind go. He's like, we're talking, this older guy, and you know, he's a lawyer. And like he's probably heard, we've like discussed and joked around about like cases of like the dumb, like he's like, some people are so freaking stupid. You would think that like, you know, he's a defense lawyer. He had to defend like mayors and whatever, cops, the whole fucking thing, you know. And he's like, oh man, I had to go down there personally to like refile all this Chris, and it was almost like when he was telling his story, he was like, you know, when you tell a story, you're also kind of like going, you're my witness. What do you think it is, kind of thing? You know what I mean? And so like we got to a point where he stopped talking about like all the delays and like what he had to do, and I'm like, well, yeah, dude. Like, have you heard of Agenda 21? And he's a lawyer and he's all, no, I'm not really into conspiracies. And I'm like, well, it's not a conspiracy, dude. Like, you know,
right?
That's the level you have someone that like reads and writes and files papers. It's made a pretty good living out of it, but like never let his mind go to like this is like something like bigger, right? Water
Yeah, yeah.
riots, like, and you just start wondering yourself, uh, like, is this all part of some kind of plan, right? You know, like the train crashes and like the highways being closed. You know, I mean, how do you even like get through to like someone like that who's smart enough in a sense like to know the difference, know that something's up, but can never like put it into the box of psyop. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's very tough to communicate. They think that these people think that like what I'm saying is insightful in a way to them about it, but also kind of like they don't believe it's so myth like it's methodical, you know, it's just like it's meant to make you spend freaking all your money, dude. You know what I mean? The way they have it set up
Mhm.
with delays and fees and resubmits and stuff. I mean, a resubmit's like $3,000 now, dude.
Totally. I mean, they're just milking people for everything they got, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's set up so perfectly for that, you know.
Well, it's
Um,
it's like these people are like placed in these positions through Agenda 21, right? We know that now. Uh the
yeah,
diversity hires
100%.
and stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
but
you
like,
know, just to your point of like, how do we, I mean, I think exactly what you did is like the way to do it. And, you know, um, usually with my friends are, I've talked to, it's like, dude, go, you know, it's like the old go look it up yourself, you know,
right, yeah,
like
yeah,
if you think I'm crazy, like, dude,
yeah,
here it is, go look it up. Multiple times have come back and been like, I went and looked it up, and dude, you're right, you know what, wow, that's
yeah,
crazy, blah blah, you
yeah,
know. um and also, I mean, I know what you're saying too about like this lawyer who's like technically smart, like he should be able to
right,
see. But all, you know, they've done such a good mind fucking on just conspiracies alone. And you know, it's gone back to, you know, it started like, you know, whatever, Bill Cooper, or actually, you know, it started with JFK, but like from Bill Cooper, they've since then they've just constantly, they've made a conspiracy like such a bad thing to
right,
even just to even talk about it. Like they flipped the meaning, where they've made it like they've taken um the focus off of like the conspiracy theory and made it
yeah,
where if you're, you know, they attack the conspiracy theorist, you know, like,
right.
and it's a really good mind fuck, you know. And since
But
the
like,
Trump stuff, they've been able to add to it and make it be like, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you're automatically a right-wing Trumper nut job, you know.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
they've even made it better now too, you know. And
right.
like people like him who's probably freaking scared to death not to get canceled from freaking whatever, like he's just trying
Yeah.
to freaking tiptoe the line of like survival
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with that, like manufacturing consent thing that uh that which is so funny. Like the manufacturing consent that like Noam Chomsky like laid. This is like so funny. They're like the people that were like their thought leaders. You know you know that everyone turned their back on Noam Chomsky, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So
what was it he what was it, I forget that.
it was like it was kind of like he was telling them this identity politics is going to like backfire, and so they just kind of they shelved him. They just kind
Right,
of like went, "Hey, you're." I think that was like the main point, like the way they
that
tried,
sounds
like
familiar.
yeah. So, but in the meantime, like if you like there if you read like Noam Chomsky books, which everyone has, I mean, like, but like if you read it and then you kind of like just like let it sink in your head, it's actually really kind of like cool if you don't put like, oh, this guy's straight up NPR propagandist, right? Like, um, and I don't think he's 100% a propagandist, but I think he like knows how propaganda works, and he explained it with like manufacturing consent, with like the 9/11 to the Iraq War thing, which is like pretty much like, yes, guess what? Like Colin Powell was like completely like um went to the United Nations and just lied about weapons of mass destruction, right? So like but then when you actually, and they were totally like every one of those like higher elites were completely into the fact that like, and when I say elites, I mean like educated people that like spent like master's degree, like maybe like 4-year degree, but master's degree and PhDs are especially like fragile when it comes to keeping them like, because people really only like average people that didn't go on to do that institutional learning aren't really like thought of as like really influential. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like they're like, oh yeah, what gives you a right to say the vaccine's poison? You're like, well, I mean, like, I don't know if you know, there was a guy in town who played in, I don't even want to say his name, but he played in bands. He was a stand-up bass player. He was 38 years old. He died of like a heart attack. Like he was in great shape, dude. The guy was good. He was a good-looking rockabilly guy, dude. And he was like going through the Cal Fire Academy, and he just like his heart like exploded. So
yeah.
And the people and the guy that Blake who plays bass, his brother like works at Cal Fire. I think he's like might even be like a station chief or something like that. Was just like, dude, it was the vax, dude. Straight up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so these things that you see, like, but in the newspaper, they just wrote down, heart attack. It was unfortunate, blah, 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 blah. Must have been like a condition that like everyone has a condition, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I fell over dead right now, there'd be multiple explanations that would make sense,
Yeah. Yeah. And so like, so back to the point of like this manufacturing consent is that like, it's really important for like these people, like this lawyer who's put their time in the higher education realm of things, to not believe that the people that are creating Agenda 21 are also coming after him, because it's like there's like they just need to like, it's just like kind of one of those things where they just need to keep 20% of the higher educated people or pretty much like 90% of all the higher educated people like on their side, so that they kind of just feel like they can be part of that upper echelon of like society. I mean, that's what it is, right? But they all have payroll jobs, bro. You know what I mean? They don't, I mean, if you work for an institution like a university or a college, yeah, I mean, there is like a certain amount of prestige, but it's like, you still don't get invited to the like eyes wide shut parties. You're still just like a fucking, they're just trying to make, what are you looking at? How are you looking at it, bro?
I'm looking at the dog over
here. Yeah. Your eyes were looking shifty, dude. You're like, what?
No, I was getting the evil eye for something.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, we knew it.
What?
Nothing. I don't know. Getting interrupted over here.
Yeah. So anyways, like I think that's what the main problem is, right? Is that like if $7,000 a month and a 3-month delay is $21,000, and if you have the money to cover that, you just cover it and be like, oh, whatever. But then like if that happens to like someone like me and you, that could like ruin our fucking project.
Oh, dude, it'd ruin your life.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be like, what the fuck? We're like, now have to sell a halfway built home, just to kind of like not go bankruptcy. But dude, there's no debtor's prison, so just go bankrupt.
Totally.
My whole idea, yeah.
I'm not worried about any of that debt shit.
Wow. The whole idea is like, if you go to like a financial planner or something like that, they're like, oh, you need $5 million to fucking live good for the 10 years that you have in your life. And you're like, oh, is that right? But like, what about if like you just like go, hey, no, like what we're doing is we're gonna die with $3 million in debt, dude. You know what I mean? It's gonna be your problem, motherfuckers. Like when I'm done. Like I'll be driving a Cadillac sitting front row at a fucking Barry Manilow fucking concert, dude. That's class, dude. Right? And it's gonna be on you, bank, you know? That's gonna be the
Hell
new
yeah.
way to get out. It's just like
I mean, it's definitely my fucking mode right now.
yeah, you just gotta go
Yeah.
for it, right?
I mean, I wish a
Yeah.
bank would be stupid enough to give me a credit card right now.
All right. Yeah. They might.
Well, they haven't been yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
fool them
it's fun.
once, shame on them, fool them
Yeah.
twice. You know
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah, because it's just like, like it's just it's one of those things though. Like but I do think that's what's keeping like if the higher educated people like like because that's the kind of thing with the Bay Area that that's why the Bay Area was such like lockdown fanatics, and just like yell at you, and then the rest of the world was not the rest of America kind of was like, oh, whatever, dude, do your own thing, whatever, have guns, whatever, but the Bay Area, the higher education has like trained them to like be obedient to like the even higher Fauci's and stuff in life, but does that just sound like elementary to me when like I speak of this shit, you know what I mean?
Totally, 100%. But it's like happens. It blows me away. It's
But
like
then you have like people like,
elementary stuff, and it's like, wow.
yeah, but then you talk to people that like you just go, and they act like they've never like their circle of friends have never even talked about it.
They must not have. I mean, I know
Yeah.
people who had vax parties.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh
like,
yeah, dude.
wow, dude. I just remember like, it's like, man, I'll never look at you the same again.
Because that's exactly what I was like speaking to him. Like that's what kind of later on in the day he came back and he was just like, he's like, man, like this, and we started talking. Like he was saying that somebody brought up like flat Earth and stuff that to him, and I'm like, oh okay, cool, and like, and he's all, oh you're not a flat earther, and I'm like okay, and he's all, no you are, and I'm like, no, let's talk about it, like, you know what I mean? Like I know what it sounds like to you to like hear that someone's a flat earther. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, he automatically was like, "Oh, you're not a flat earther, are you?" Like
Right.
that's a
Right.
mentality. Off the top, he's like thinking down. You're being thought
It
down
was
of
just,
just for the idea.
yeah, but like if you go like, the helio centric model has only been around since like 1955, dude. You know what I mean?
It's
So
yeah,
like
of
I
course,
go,
it's easy to
yeah, yeah, but like it's like, but then I go, but like, because he was like talking about like the drywall guy was like talking about flat Earth to him or something like that, and he was just like,
Mhm.
wow, how can you be so? And I'm like, but I kept on telling him like, hey, I'm like, hey Jim, I mean, like if it's flat, what does it matter to you? You know what I mean? And he's just like, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like, because if it's round, what does it matter, right? Like, so when I was like when I was talking to him, I'm like, well, I don't give a damn if it's fucking flat or fucking round. I don't give a shit. That's not like my main thing is kind of just like not. I don't like. I hear both sides, but like, but I'm like, but I'm like, even if it's flat, who gives a shit? And if it's fucking round, who gives a fucking shit, right? There's like something deeper within like it being flat or it being like globe, right? So the way I was trying to explain it to him was just like, I'm like, you know, on this guy's level who was like trying to uh like proselyte you know be like be um preaching to you about it or whatever, like there's something deeper than it just being flat, right? I'm like, because there's a lot of cultures that we like look into right now that that we all believe that we're cultures that believe the earth was flat, right? Like Native Americans and uh you know um Buddhist in
Yeah, I
a
mean,
sense.
just about
Yeah, yeah,
everybody. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I'm like, but what is their spirituality toward like the end being? And this might sound like a bunch of bull, but I'm like, I kept on going, hey Jim, like, it's like, you know, it's he's that way because in the end he believes that he's like a very special person, and like You know what I mean? He's grounded to the earth, and the earth is pulling him directly toward like the center of the earth, so that he can be a very special person, so that he can like feel special in his menial job, right? You know what I mean? So that's the spirituality of flat earth in the end. That might be bullshit, that might not be bullshit, but I'm like, but I went, if you look at it from like, what is the spirituality of like it being around earth, and you're in this big universe, and it's like, like the the Big Bang, which is like, I don't believe in the Big Bang. All right. Because the whole thing goes out the window when you tell someone like, oh yeah, okay, so the Big Bang happened, right? And they go, yeah, but I'm all, what happened on Tuesday before the Big Bang? It's like we're talking about infinity, man. We're talking about like something, it's infinity already. It just didn't happen. The earth, like, and then I'm all, the end all side of it is that like, oh, you believe that you're insignificant in this wild universe, right? Where like all science says the galaxy's fucking flat, by the way, or in more of a flat shape, right? Because it's like the galaxy is not this round circle, right? It's like this flat circle expanding, right? It expands flat. I mean, and then you have like these balls, right, that are like round, and it's circulating the sun, right? So the round Earth means you're insignificant, your thoughts don't matter, this and that, right? And he's just like, well, that's an. Then he like saw that, like, he's, oh, that's a thoughtful way of looking at it. I'm all, yeah, but like those are just two different fucking things, bro. I mean, we're walking around where like you have like Elon Musk talking about like we're in a fucking simulation, right? Where like we're talking like we have like these synchronistic like minds that like we like think of someone and they call us on the fucking phone, right? That's the whole thing, right? There's all this territory for like these things to like live in, right? Flat Earth, whatever, globe Earth, whatever, simulation, whatever. You know what I mean? So like it wouldn't even like it, but in the end, the heliocentric model like was like in 1955 when they went, oh, okay, cool, we're all at consensus now, right? This is what we're going to be teaching, so it's not even that old, it's not even 100 years old, but that's how powerful that mind control is. So you get onto this like this weird, like, are you hypnotized or are you mind controlled? Because those are two of the heaviest things that are out there, right? Mm-hmm. If you're mind controlled, you believe the official story. If you're hypnotized, you just do what you're told, right?
Yeah, I think they both are they're definitely similar. I think being mind controlled is a form of hypnotization, definitely.
Yeah, right. But it's a fine line, right? Like so then you go like, what's hypnotized then? Like, right? What's mind? Okay, so what's mind control? Mind control is like when you hear the news say, threat to our democracy, and then you hear the news say it, you hear Hillary Clinton say it, and then you go out and be like, oh, this is, and then your conversation revolves around, this is just a threat to our democracy, and you just go, wait, but it's a republic. So what's your fucking problem? So, but then like but then if you're hypnotized, you just do what you're told, right? Like they tell you to like go inside. It's like, well, time to come in. The lights are on out on the street. Come inside, and you just go inside. You're hypnotized. It's like, it's really like, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's levels to it for sure, because
right. I mean, but
you could be hearing from like everyone, every news source telling you something, every person at work telling you something, and in a way, that's hypnotizing you to that reality,
Yeah, programming for sure.
Which, yeah, it's all, I think they're both very, very similar, and they're both used, in the same kind of way,
Yeah.
I think, hypnotize and mind control. I think mind controlled they're all pretty vast, it's like we've been mind controlled to think that you need to go to college and get an education and fucking become a slave to the system, like that's a form of mind control and hypnotism,
Right. Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So if like, but if you end up being told that like you have to resubmit your plans, you're hypnotized.
Sure.
You just pay the money. You're just like, oh, this is what you have to do. You're programmed. You're programmed to do it because that's how you fix things.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of a forced cooperation.
yeah. Well, it's like Jesus Christ. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. But then it's just like everyone, because I can't even imagine a motherfucker at the county taking their fucking job serious, dude. But they do.
I mean, yeah, they do for sure.
They do, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you don't end up in that position if you're not like just bought in and hypnotized into that world, essentially.
Well, you're looking for the ultimate security, right? I mean, it's like,
yeah, it's a career,
yeah,
get
you're
your
looking for
pension,
like, yeah, like
retire when I'm 62.
Yeah, you're a C student. You don't see a way out. You know what I mean?
That's the only path,
Right. I mean,
you
dude,
couldn't shoot hoops, so you had to fucking try and go to
right.
college and get a
Yeah.
career.
Or like, what's that? Biggie Smalls has that thing. UPS is hiring. Like, it's like the best line. One of his, like, he sets it up all because couldn't make it as a rapper. Don't worry, UPS is hiring. Just like he's just funny. Like that shit's funny. I like Biggie Smalls, but like, yeah, man. Like I get into these conversations with people, and it's like, I kind of like look at it like in a way where like they're never even they'll never even trip over the fucking landmine that like Tartaria or these old civilizations. They'll never look at like, they'll just keep on looking at like a calendar and being like, this is the calendar, and you're like, oh, but like there's like the Jewish calendar, there's the Mayan calendar, there's the Japanese calendar, there's all these different calendars, right? They're just, oh, we're just on this one calendar.
Mm-hmm. And I've thought, and that kind of mentality that they've gotten us into has also made it so easy to hide and change history, because like the easiest example is America. Whatever Americans are told, they believe, that's right, we're the right ones. And even if you're sitting there going, well, the Mayans, they did this and that, and they believed in these people and these people, right away we're like, well, that's just fantasy. They were savages, they were fucking stupid Indians. This is a real thing. We got Jesus Christ, we got fucking skyscrapers. Right. You know what I mean? Like, and like it doesn't even, people don't even think to check, because it's like, oh, well, why believe those stupid savages? Fucking, that was just some dumb shit they were doing, fucking blah,
Pagans,
blah,
Pagans.
Yeah, and it's just so they've the separation and the divide and conquer of just the idea of countries and states and counties and cities and all this shit has been a huge part of the plan as well, because it's just so easy to keep people separate. And it's like, our way is the right way, fucking, we're the best, why, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's that guy, that Dilbert guy got canceled.
Yeah, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
How did that, how?
Okay, so from just like the Cliff Notes for Dummies about it, apparently like he was talking about okay, so like he's like, what's happening is that like these diversity hire situations are like usually like in county positions, and some of these counties are like the majority is like more African American. So it's like, you're not going to get hired in like these in these places where there's other like African Americans for the job. You might, this is apparently all I said is like, it would make sense if like instead of like living in your guys' community where you're not going to get hired for the job you want, you should like just move to like white counties and states and get jobs through diversity hires there, because it would work out for you better. That's what he got canceled for.
Oh, he was like telling them to hack.
Yeah. And so, but like, it was like, But that thought's like really dangerous, right? The thought,
Well,
a
yeah,
thought of common sense and upper mobility in gaining the system that they set up is a real dangerous thought. Enough to where
totally.
like you're like, and apparently he's like taking it like kind of like in a funny way where it's just like, yeah, man, Dilbert got canceled. He got fired from his job
Mhm.
because they just take, you know,
Well, I think, the internet for sure, like, got out of hand, and, at least out of hand of the censors and the controllers. And it really got to a point where like any dipshit in the world could say something and like people would take their word on it, And I feel like one of their tactics to try and, shut it down was to create the cancel culture and like
right.
this woke culture. And, like how many people have like censored themselves out of fear of getting, canceled, by saying something online, like everyone did. You know what I mean? So like, it's a good fucking psyop for sure. It's like the fake internet police that, they don't even have to fucking pay, that people do it for free type of shit,
Well, here's the thing that like tie it all back up is that like the it's democracy. So like so people don't realize that you're in a republic, right? So that's why they keep on saying it's a threat to democracy, because the original thought of democracy, when they were forming the democracy, um, like the original thought experiment for democracy was that like, oh, democracy works like this. It's like we don't like as government officials and stuff like that, we don't have to be the people pointing our finger and saying this is not how you're supposed to live. But what is democracy in the thought experiment is that like it's your neighbor who fucking polices you, right? And that's what it's like. That's who they were. That's how the original democracy was always planned to like work. Was that your neighbor would police you,
Right. Well, I mean, if that's, that's
and your
definitely what
neighbor
they're doing for sure.
exactly,
And I mean, that's
exactly,
been our struggle all along, like in our
exactly.
community world forever. Like, even just starting to do the Golden Gate Star Force Command and do these videos was like a
Yeah,
major, like, what's the word? Risk to, I feel like it's like taking a risk and like putting my face and my name on the shit, like,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
for me, that was a big thing, whatever hurdle fucking jumped. But like,
yeah,
it's a thing, for sure. Fucking
yeah. I mean, like
been
the
dealing with
outward,
it
like, yeah,
all along, it's I'm just fucking, I've always just minded my business and like, yeah, these people ain't
yeah,
ready, but yeah, 100%.
yeah. That's
100%.
what they mean by it. They want you to do their
Right.
dirty work, man.
Totally.
That's the thing. Democracy is you do their dirty work. They get to
For
like,
sure.
and
It's a
that's it.
trick, definitely.
Yeah. So but that's like the thought leaders of like 1776 though came up with that. That's like Benjamin Franklin's idea.
Mhm.
That's like those guys, right? Like so, in a way that like, democracy means like mob rules, anyways, right? So it's like, um, yeah, so the mob rules, but they're the
Yeah.
wrong mob, dude. Like, you know what I mean? That like that's why a republic is like so much better. Like, in my opinion, it's like that's why confederacies are like better in a sense. Not like
Yeah.
not like in an
Well, they ruined
inhumane
that
way,
word too. They ruined that word too. You know what I
right?
mean?
Well,
And
but that's the thing. Like the Indians were a confederate.
totally, there's lots of confederacies before that.
Yeah,
Somehow there's been none ever since. You know what I mean?
but it's a power. It's confederate is as powerful and more and meaningful as democracy.
Totally, and it makes perfect sense why they would ruin that word with like,
Exactly.
if you're a Confederate, all of a sudden you're a Southern slave owner. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's insane how they've gone. It's
Yeah.
like the same. It's how they stole the swastika. You know what I mean? It's the same
Oh, of
kind of
course.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
just totally hijacked it. You know?
I mean, they chip like they go to these temples like where like these Buddhist temples that have like the swastika or whatever they call it. Maybe it's just called swastika, and they chip it off like these buildings because they just can't have it. They can't think. They go, oh my gosh, they can't think. All they think about is
it's
the
wild.
democracy.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
a fucking
that
good mind
20%.
fuck.
Yeah, it's like, and that's it's like, not that I could even come up with a better plan. Like, right, like I'm not saying that like I'm gonna sit here and be like, what works for me doesn't work for you. Like, I mean, like, but it's just like it's a comic strip writer, bro. It's like the reason why he's even like other people like look at like his satire about office politics and look at a cartoon. It's like it's a big deal. It's a big deal to have him in the 20% because that's who they don't want. Like people that are like subversive hate the fact that like people are also working on subversion, dude. You know what I mean? It's like it just sucks. It's like they just go, oh my god, like we're the subversive ones. Our ideas are, but your ideas are like it's like the thing from going from Rage Against the Machine to Rage Against for the Machine. It's just like you guys are fucking establishment now, dude.
Yeah.
And that establishment includes drone bombings, like
Totally. It's
slave
easy
labor.
it's
Yeah,
easy to get
you
caught
know,
up, and it's laughable when they do.
yeah, just whatever. It's just like it's like they got you because they enticed you with the carrot of being allowed into the upper echelon of society, which is
Totally.
like which is bourgeois.
Right. And
I hate using that word. I hate using that word. But like it is like,
it's the
dude, you
analogy
guys,
of selling your soul to the devil. Once you
yeah,
fucking do that, fucking,
yeah.
you're a devil.
We're
You're
coming
a
up on
devil.
30 seconds, dude. Do you want to
All
run it?
right.
You want to run it
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's keep it lit.
Okay.
All right.
Right on. See you in a second.
All right.
Dude. Now here's a guy.
Tell
Look at
us.
this. Huh?
Tell us.
Well, no, I'm just like saying this guy, like, if we like what this guy knows about like the world is amazing, man, to me.
I mean,
He's the
he was
first.
out there getting boots on the ground, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I mean, they were diving in and looking for Atlantis, swimming through caves. They were just doing everything. They had so much freaking backing. He pretty much was single-handedly created like all the scuba equipment. The French, man, the frog man. To unlock this lesson, you must, I gotta study.
Don't study, bro.
Yeah, anyways, let me just got it. Anyways, maybe, yeah, because I'm always like super impressed with like Jacques Cousteau
I
over and
like their
over again.
filmmaking style too.
Yeah,
It's funny, like watching it, and then of course when you watch what's that Wes Anderson film?
Team Zusu.
Yeah, the Zuzu one, and then even like Pineapple Express when they're doing like the nature footage shit. It's
Yeah,
like, totally stolen from like, the Jacques Cousteau, and
yeah.
there's a handful of other people. I can't even think of the names right now.
Yeah.
Have you seen that the volcano couple? It's like a documentary, maybe on Netflix or something. Well, they were around this, like, they were doing stuff in the 70s and 80s, like, and it totally reminded me of that same style,
Yeah.
of filmmaking.
Yeah,
It was
I
awesome.
remember. Yeah, I remember like what was that other one? Omaha Wild,
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
fucking rad, dude. That guy jumping out of the helicopter to like tag that zebra or something. Remember that? Like,
Yeah,
that stuff was like big time to me, man. That was like yeah, that was like killer stuff, man.
I was like before cable, when you only had so many choices to watch.
I remember like when I was growing up, like you would catch that like in between like waking up from like your morning cartoons in the end, you know what I mean? Before it switched to like the 2 o'clock basketball game.
Right. It switched to the dad show before the basketball game.
Yeah, just kind of get everyone in the mood. And that show was pretty rugged, man. Mutual of Omaha, man. It's just all like hype beasts like in the beginning, it's just like it's all set up and just it's not as fresh as the new one. Now everyone kind of has their own little way, but it's usually some guy like Steve Irwin or something like that. God rest his soul. I think Steve Irwin's daughter's like non-binary too, I think.
I feel like I heard something about her recently. It might have been that.
Yeah. But Steve Irwin was pretty dope. He was dude, that guy got bit by so many snakes, man. Oh, crikey, it got me.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're gonna handle snakes, you're gonna get bit, man. That's how it goes.
This is the most poisonous snake on this island. Crikey, it bit me.
Wonder how much of that was real.
60%.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but those Jacques Cousteau footage, I just love it, man. It's just like it's so guerrilla.
Is it on any of the streaming sites? Or is
I
it
just go to YouTube. I mean, I just rip it. I just I don't have anything in my name anymore as far as Netflix or any of that stuff anymore. Like I don't even have I don't even have like a YouTube, to be honest with you. Like because it all just
No, I get it, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's just another thing. Like I just started recently thinking like, because I don't even do Facebook. I was thinking like I'm almost getting pulled into like wanting to do Twitter just to see what's going on. But like, I'm like, dude, I don't want like, it's already like hard enough to like, not like veg on like, everything the internet has to offer anyways, it's the wintertime. This rain is really the lockdown, the whole fucking thing just kind of like, if the internet wasn't like getting you, it's got you now, you know what I mean? So
sure. I mean, I'd say this, the only reason to be on Twitter is because like Analog Post does a lot of his posts on Twitter more than he does on Instagram. That's probably like the only reason.
On Twitter, like promotion. Because I remember, I remember when Twitter first was popping, like you'd get into a lot of like secret like food trucks and stuff like that. They'd be like, oh, just wait to hear from the like Twitter announcement or something like that. They'd be like, oh, hey, I'm over here on this street. What's up? And then people would just like go over there, and that's how Twitter was really helpful working and starting like, because it wasn't like a newspaper headline thing. That was like the secondary. That was the secondary thing, that happened later, and that's why Twitter became what it was like just people started like being able to like launch businesses and not use advertisement dollars to do it, right?
Yeah,
and that's what.
Yeah, it's for that. Awesome for sure.
It doesn't work now that like it doesn't work like that now. I mean, you have to be involved a lot, dude. A lot of times, dude, I'll go like the freaking whole day without even like having like not talk to anybody, like the way my life is like set up now, and like and it's actually really kind of foreign to like there'll just be like one day out of the week that I just need to call everyone I freaking know, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm at work. What's up going on? Anything, you know what I mean? But I mean, even when like, I just don't even communicate that way. It's,
I've been turning off the digital world.
Yeah.
As not as much as possible, but like making conscious efforts, like at least during the day, a lot of times to, just have like and not even text, even with text too, just have like real conversations.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Right. Yeah.
texting, of course, like it's so easy. I'm not even fucking knocking it. I'm not even against it. I'm not any point. But I've thought about this a lot. I think this is kind of trippy. And I think maybe in like 10 years we might have more of a grasp of it. But like we have so many text conversations with people, and basically like, I mean, I don't do this. I don't read their text out loud or read what I'm saying to them, And so like you're essentially having a conversation with these people in your head, you know what I mean? And some people you might only be communicating like this with, like, and obviously if you're only talking to people in your head, it, you know, you're going to be awkward as fuck when you trying to talk to someone face to face, It's just
Yeah.
another part of this whole game, I think, and I think it's going to, I don't know, I haven't really heard anybody talk about it, but I feel like it's going to be a thing because I've tripped on it. Like, I'm like, fuck, man, most of like the people I talk to, it's like I'm having this conversation with them, like in my head, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it out loud to anyone or whatever. It's like just sitting there, like with my, it's a trip. And I
Yeah.
don't know, it's weird. I think there is going to be like some consequences to that eventually of like
Well, dude,
that kind
there
of
is,
communication,
yeah, there is kind of like, like a communication breakdown for sure. Especially because how, do you remember? Okay, so like we would go across the country for 2 fucking months with a fucking pamphlet of fucking papers and whack directions, and we'd still get everywhere we needed to go.
Totally. And I trip out on that. I was talking to someone about just the other day because I think I found one of my tour books. It had phone numbers written down and addresses all written down, and driving all across country and like showing up in this town. If the atlas didn't have a map, then we'd just drive downtown and try and find like a record store or something, or
Right.
a phone
Exactly.
number, a
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
It's
You had
it's
to, dude, you had
insane.
to like, dude, you had to like call like just out of the blue when you needed help.
Totally out of the blue. Like, no
Yeah.
wonder my parents thought I was absolutely insane. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Because like
You would
even
have to call
now, it's like,
someone that
wow.
you'd have to call someone that you've never met, like on a, like you just setting up a show back then was just like, hey, is this a such and such like coffee spot? And they're like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
what's going on? You're like, oh, hey, I don't want to drop names, but like so and so gave me you guys' number. You know him? Like, oh yeah, we know him. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, like we're this band, and we're looking for a show this day. Oh, okay, cool, yeah, like no doubt.
Totally. You never knew like if they're flying for it or
Yeah,
anything,
and that was it. No
And how
doubt.
many
Yeah, man.
times you show up and there's like no show.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean, very rare. Very rare though, dude.
more rare than you'd think.
I mean, like when you have like 44 days and you're just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let's fill this. Like, yeah, you would just go off into the world, and
Yeah.
that'd be the thing. You
Like
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
even know. I don't even know. Like we were hardly getting paid. Like how do we even fucking buy gas and shit? It's hilarious.
Yeah. That, but see the major communicate, like you would think that like communications were um like people would just like, I mean, people on the other end of the line would just say, yeah, show up. And then you'd have to go and be sketched out the whole time that they're like, okay, this is like set up.
Totally. I mean, yeah, you planned
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean, fuck. When we were doing shows at California Street, fucking get cold
Yeah,
call from a band, like,
yeah,
hey, coming through town, book us a show or whatever. That was
yeah.
always a trip.
You'd always kind of dread it a little bit, be like, all right.
I think Hot Water Music cold called me
Yeah,
one day, and I was like, "What?" And they were like, I mean, they weren't big or anything, but they
yeah,
were a little too big to even be playing California Street at the time, you know,
were,
but this was well before they ever like, you know, were known.
Yeah,
But I was a trip. Those guys were super nice. I'm like, yeah,
I
you know, it's a
remember that.
living room, right?
Yeah, I remember that show, and I remember that, like, I remember thinking that, like, they were connected. I remember going, oh yeah, these guys know hot water music. Oh, I thought the name was always kind of funny because of the Charles Bukowski. But then I was just like, oh, these guys, got, what was that one band? The Get Up Kids. Yeah, yeah. I remember going, oh, like, because I remember the Get Up Kids like played there.
Yeah, they played. It was
Cap Street.
First ever tour, yeah, and then up at Cap Street.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they jumped on. Didn't they jump on the California Street show with them? Or it was like kind of, or I don't know. Maybe they just like they were like 2
that.
weeks.
What was that? The same show?
Or what?
Hot Water Music and Get Up Kids. It might have been.
Yeah,
it might have been.
Because I remember going, oh
no, like, that was a show. It was Hot Water Music and Santa Cruz, and then Hot Water Music, Get Up Kids.
Yeah.
And Yaphet Kotto too, I think.
Yeah.
That was fucking. That was a show where Aaron, what's his name? Yeah. What was it? What'd you say?
Coys,
yeah, Aaron Coys. He was heckling them about something.
Oh yeah, he got a good one off him.
Yeah, and I forget what it was.
No, I remember exactly what it was.
What'd he say? What was the thing?
The guy was talking on the mic, and the crowd was still talking, and he's like, hey, quiet down. He's like, quiet down, I'm at a rock show. Don't tell me to quiet, I'm at a rock. And it was like, geez, what? We're at a rock show. We're here to party, dude. Like it was like something like that, kind of like outlandish, like.
Right. I feel like he had said something because it was a few years later at Bottom of the Hill, Get Up Kids, and Aaron Coys was there, and they were playing, and between songs he yelled out like whatever it was that he yelled out at them at Cap Street. And dude, those fucking guys, like they were all like looking out in the crowd, and fucking they looked like they wanted to fucking jump off stage. I mean, not that they were tough guys at all.
Yeah.
But they looked like they wanted to jump off stage with their instruments and find whoever the fuck said that. It was so funny. It like ruined their set. The rest of the set, they were just like playing this stupid happy music, but all like fucking frowning and like fucking looking in the crowd to try and recognize to see if they fucking seen it. That's hilarious.
What he went to do what was that one band he did? Bright Lights? No, Bright Sky?
In Oakland? The one in Oakland? Or LA?
Yeah, LA.
Dude, we're gonna have to really dig into my memory banks here.
Because I actually think they got a critically acclaimed, like nominated Grammy for that band.
Shit! Oh, good for him, dude.
No, but it was.
Oh, here we go.
But it wasn't like it was like all computer, like in a computer or something.
Synth stuff.
And it wasn't. But I don't know how, because I know that him and Nate Archer also did a project that Thurston Moore from like Sonic Youth put out. Yeah, it was like a noise record.
I lost track of him after he left Oakland, but I feel like I've ran into him like a handful of times, maybe over the years. What was his band? Was Scott Batiste in a band with him in Oakland?
Like
or something else? No, that was like Black Label or whatever.
Black Label.
Remember that? The band in Oakland he did.
Well, I think that they had some issues that I don't know. I mean, it's talking out of school for sure, but like I think they had like some issues with the Saviors or something like that, where in that label, like
okay.
Yeah, something really like a grievance of certain amount. So like where, you know, I don't know. I mean, like, I hardly like, do you stay in touch with Scott at all? Hardly ever?
No, but I saw him like a couple years ago, maybe now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the first time in a long time, and it was actually cool.
Yeah. Scott's always
Um,
been cool, man.
yeah, it's cool.
Got a
You
lot.
know,
I got a lot of,
we've had ups and downs.
yeah, I got a lot of respect
But
for Scott.
no, I mean, I love the guy. It's just
Yeah.
fucking, you know how it is.
No, he's on his own mish, dude. Those guys are, they're on their own mish. Like, and more power to him, you know, like he's a hell
Yeah.
of a fucking drummer. I mean, he's a fucking hell of a drummer, man.
Oh,
I gotta
dude,
tell
I
you that.
love playing with him. He had the
Dude, yeah.
biggest drums. He'd have he
Like,
had a kick drum for a floor tom, and he had
yeah.
floor toms as rack toms. And he had the
Yeah.
biggest kick drum you could possibly find. His cymbals were like
Huge.
30 inches or some shit, maybe even bigger.
Yeah.
We'd have to play with fucking full stacks in a basement.
Yeah. He was,
Awesome.
yeah, he really came into his drumming style when we got him into Yafakoto though, dude.
Totally. And he started playing backwards. And
Yeah.
that was always fun. I loved when he played backwards and sideways. Fucking.
Yeah.
Just a whole different trip. Fucking. To see and hear a band live like that.
Yeah.
His drums were also so big that if he played the right way, fucking no one, that's all people would have heard.
Oh yeah. His kick drum, like he had like he was wicked, man. He was a wicked drummer. He had those
Standing up.
Yeah.
He played so tall, like practically standing up.
Yeah. I always felt like he just really, like, up until, because well, he was doing like lighter kind of music, and then I remember calling him up after Paul or Molly or whatever the guy wants to be called these days. Like, we just couldn't handle him no more. Like, and I remember just calling him up one day, like, when I was, dude, it's so fucking, dude, it's so funny to think about, like, all, yeah, calling people to play music when I still like lived at my mom's house, dude. I remember calling him up and like, I'm like, hey, like, is Scott there? And it was like, I don't know where he's living. He was living somewhere. No, no, Scott's not here. And I'm like, and I remember going, hey, can you tell him to call Pat from Santa Cruz? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's what you had to say, dude.
Totally.
Like, it could be like a million Pats. Gave my number.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes later, he like walked in. I guess he was working at like Guitar Ship Center.
Mm-hmm.
That one down right on the, like, I don't even know if it's still there. South Van Ness.
It was on Mission Street, and it's not there
Mission
anymore.
Street. Yeah, yeah. Like, he's all, hey, I just got in. I'm like, hey man, we want you to play drums. Like, are you into it? And he's like, I remember he was just like, yeah, when? I'm totally into it. And I just remember going, dude, we're back in business, dude.
Fuck yeah,
we're fucking back in business, dude.
It's a game changer.
Back in business, bro.
Yeah.
It was so rad, dude. And then those fools would come down to Santa Cruz together.
Yeah. I was
Dude,
so bummed.
Like, we practice once every 2 weeks, bro. Just relearning the songs and going for it, man. Yeah, man. Those were the days, dude.
Totally.
Those were the days.
I was really bummed when he quit. And when the time came, like basically fucking, you know, convinced him to come back. It was the same thing, same feeling again. It was like, yes,
back in the game.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. But Jose Palafox filled in for him though. He did a pretty good job, right? Different styles.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Yeah.
I wish I could take all that back.